How much is my personal injury claim worth? After you've been hurt in an accident or by someone else's negligence, this is often your first and most pressing question. And while there are websites, articles, and online damage calculators everywhere telling you that there is a simple mathematical formula for figuring out what your claim is worth, they're often completely misleading and provide information that can make a successful resolution of your claim more difficult. The truth is that there's no easy or quick way to guess the value of your claim, because there are literally dozens of factors that must be considered. And since each injury case is different, those factors can vary dramatically from case to case. Now, often the monetary value of your claim can't even be considered until you have fully recovered from your injuries, since current and future medical expenses both play a large role in the amount of compensation you may be entitled to. There are also a number of other factors that weigh heavily in the determination of your claim's value that may be unknown at the beginning of your claim. With that in mind, here are just some of the many factors that TSK Law Firm uses to help determine the value of your specific case. Whose fault is it? If you have no fault in the accident that caused you to be injured, then your compensation will typically be higher than if you're partially at fault. However, if you're more than 50% at fault for the accident, you may not be entitled to recover any funds in your claim. How serious are your injuries? Bruised ribs and soft tissue damage are not as severe as a head injury, or one that requires multiple surgeries and months of rehabilitation. The degree of injury and pain you've suffered and the length of your recovery are huge factors when it comes to the value of your case. How much were your medical bills and out-of-pocket expenses? The amount of your medical bills is another major factor in determining the value of your case. In general, the more expensive your bills, the more your case may be worth, though this is not always the case. When you need future medical treatment or long-term care. If your doctor believes you'll need additional treatment in the future and can put a price on that treatment, you may be eligible for additional compensation to cover these expenses. Did you seek prompt medical attention? Any delays in going to the doctor may prompt the insurance company attorney to argue that no injury occurred or that the injury is not as serious as you claimed. For this reason, it is vital that you receive prompt treatment for any injuries you suffer and that you complete your treatment without missing appointments or delay. How do your injuries affect you and your life? The way your injuries affect your life also plays a role in determining the value of your claim. Are you able to perform everyday activities such as walking, talking, eating, and driving? Did you miss out on important events? Did you suffer financial problems due to medical bills and missing work? It may help your case if you keep a journal of all the ways your injuries have affected your day-to-day activities and share these with your attorney. If your injuries prevent you from doing things you were able to do before the accident, then your personal injury claim may be worth more in the eyes of a jury and can lead to greater compensation from the insurance company. Has your family suffered as a result of your injury? If your spouse or family has suffered loss of companionship or other related losses due to your injury, they might be eligible for loss of consortium compensation. How much work have you missed? A loss of income directly related to your accident and injuries can affect the value of your case, but your employer must be able to verify your claims. If you're self-employed, it's a bit more complex, but your most recent tax returns will help determine the value of any loss of earnings claim you might have. Will there be a loss of future income due to permanent disabilities? If your future earning capacity has been damaged due to your injuries, then your compensation might be higher. For instance, if you can no longer perform the job you've trained your entire life to do, you must change new careers, or you're now partially or completely disabled, this will likely have a great effect on the value of your claim. Is the at-fault party a pillar of the community? Sometimes a person's character can come into play during the claims process. If the person who hit you has a history of drunk driving or jail time, the jury may dole out harsher punishment. On the other hand, if you were injured by a local pastor on his way to deliver food to the homeless, the jury may be more forgiving. Another factor may be whether the responsible party is a large company or an individual. Occasionally, juries will demand higher compensation from a company versus a lower-income individual citizen. Does the at-fault party have insurance? In the case of car accidents and liability cases, the type of insurance may dictate a maximum amount of compensation you can receive. If the at-fault party has no insurance at all, and you don't have the proper insurance coverage to make up the difference, such as personal injury protection, uninsured motorist, and underinsured motorist protection, then you may have difficulty collecting any compensation even if you're seriously injured. How old are you? Children and seniors tend to get more sympathy in personal injury cases, so occasionally your age can play a small part in the amount of your settlement. Your age may also be important for determining how permanent injuries will affect the remainder of your life, thus affecting the value of your overall claim. Were there any prior injuries or pre-existing medical conditions? If you have a prior injury or illness that was made worse by your accident, it could affect the value of your claim. Have you made any prior insurance claims? Every time a claim is filed through an insurance company, it gets logged into a database. If you have a history of filing claims, it can raise suspicion which can damage your reputation and count against you. Are there any additional aggravating factors to consider? Sometimes there will be aggravating factors that add value to your case, such as the at-fault party engaging in reckless or drunk driving, texting while driving, cell phone use, and street racing. And the most important factor, do you have an aggressive personal injury attorney on your side to fight for you? If not, you'll most likely be pressured by the insurance company to settle for significantly less than what you could have received if you had hired an attorney to handle your claim. In fact, without a lawyer, insurance companies know you will most likely be lost in the complicated claims process, and that you are much less likely to file a lawsuit against them if they don't offer you a reasonable settlement. For these reasons, hiring an aggressive and experienced personal injury attorney can have a major positive impact on what your claim is worth. Now, keep in mind that not all lawyers are the same. Although most injury attorneys typically charge similar fees for representation, not all personal injury attorneys can get desirable results. Whoever you choose to handle your claim can make a huge difference in how much money you ultimately recover, so choose an attorney with experience and a proven record of success handling personal injury cases like yours. At Terry, Simon & Kelly, PLLC, we can evaluate your injury claim during a free, no-obligation consultation by phone, in our Austin office, or even online through our free case review form. And once you become our client, we fund your case from start to finish, meaning we don't get paid unless we get compensation for you. So call us today at 512-900-9000 or visit us online at austininjurylawyernow.com for a free consultation. Your compensation could depend on it.